Our business update with Brian Quinn. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Jeannie.
Now, you're starting with the state of play, so to speak, in the global video gaming industry. That says streaming services become the hot new trend.
That's right. E3 is the video gaming industry's largest annual trade fair. It is currently underway in Los Angeles. 2019's convention has seen industry heavyweights tease new high-powered consoles like Microsoft's next-generation Xbox, codenamed Project Scarlet. But the major theme this year, gaming in the cloud, as players like Google, Apple, and France's Ubisoft launch streaming services. Owen Barnell has the story.
Like kids on Christmas. For gamers, it's essentially the same thing. When the annual video game convention E3 opens its doors, it's time to unwrap all the latest developments in the world of gaming. At this year's event in LA, the word on everyone's lips is streaming. In a world of streamed music, film and TV, gaming is the next to go. And with major industry players like Xbox and Sony getting behind the trend, playing games on the cloud could soon become a lot more popular.
Well, the promise of cloud streaming is basically being able to take your gaming anywhere, on your phone, on your tablet, on your, really bad work laptop. That's the promise of it.
Also turning heads, Google's entry into gaming with streaming service Stadia, hosting titles from across the game developing world in the internet cloud. Ubisoft also unveiled Uplay that will allow users to access its gaming library online. But moving away from traditional consoles has its complications. The cost of maintaining subscriptions with several different providers for one, while a quick, bug-free experience is everything to gamers. Internet speed needs to be guaranteed. If it ain't fast, the fun won't last. And then there's also the draw of owning the game itself.
I buy more digital movies now than I do physical. But when it comes to my games, where my passion is, I want those cases on my shelf, right?
So is streaming the future of gaming? Trends like these are the lifeblood of the video game world, and with the industry pulling in $135 billion globally every year, to invest or not is the multi-billion-dollar question.
Next now, Uber's CEO has some thoughts on why his company's IPO didn't quite go as planned.
That's right. It's been 1 month since Uber's disappointing public stock offering. The ride-hailing firm's stock is still trading below its IPO price of $45 per share. Many analysts pointing to Uber's consistently large quarterly losses for skepticism over the company's market value, despite strong revenue growth. CEO Dara Khosrowshahi, though, has his own theory. For him, market turbulence caused by the U.S.-China trade war are behind the stock's lackluster performance. Here he is.
The timing of our IPO was very much aligned with our president's tariff wars the same day. So I think we got caught up in a bit of a market swirl, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Speaking of the markets, what are we seeing so far today?
Well, Jeannie, European indexes sliding Wednesday as the U.S. and China take increasingly hardline positions in that ongoing trade conflict. Banks in the energy sector leading the way down. London's FTSE 100 is off over 0.5%. CAC 40 here in Paris not too far behind. Frankfurt DAX is down 0.4%. Milan's FTSE MIB down 0.2% as the European Commission gets closer to disciplinary action over Italy's mounting public debt. Once more of the day's top business headlines we're following for you at this hour. Dassault Systems has agreed to buy U.S. clinical trials firm Medidata in a $5.8 billion cash deal. The French software group says the takeover strengthens its position in life sciences and should boost earnings from 2020 onwards. Nissan's new CEO, Hiroto Saikawa, is under mounting pressure. 2 investor advisory firms have called on shareholders to vote against his reappointment at Nissan's annual general meeting this month. Saikawa has struggled to mend the company's relationship with alliance partner Renault since the ouster of former chief Carlos Ghosn. And Tesla CEO Elon Musk says the company has a, quote, decent shot at a record quarter. Musk seeking to calm investor fears at the company's annual shareholder meeting. Deliveries fell 31% in the first quarter, but are forecast to rebound in the second. Tesla is expected to settle on a location for a European factory by year end.
Now to the Netherlands, where a new production facility for animal feed is creating a lot of buzz.
That's right. Dutch firm Protix has opened one of the largest ever farms for the production of insects for use in animal feed. Its technique of using tiny fly larvae for protein puts environmental concerns front and center, and feed companies are lining up to take a bite.
Food fit for a king. Well, not exactly, but a big money punt in the production of animal protein in the Netherlands has brought the country's king to the table. This week, King Willem-Alexander officially opened the world's largest insect farm in Bergen op Zoom, and it's got the environmental science world buzzing.
From the eggs, to the larvae, to the cocoons, to the flies and back. And by managing that whole process under one roof, we can upcycle food waste back into high-quality proteins, and this is our contribution to closing the food system into a circular food system in balance with nature.
In this brand spanking new €45 million facility, tiny fly larvae is the name of the game, and Dutch firm Protix hope to produce millions of them to be ground up into paste and sold as animal feed. A source of cheap, environmentally friendly protein, enough to generate 100 million servings of salmon a year, and feed giant Nutrico has already signed a supply deal for its use in fish feed. One problem: using animal proteins in feed mixes for livestock intended for human consumption is banned under European law. Protix is lobbying for an exception, but in the meantime, there are other uses: pet food, egg-laying chicken farmers, and soil fertilizer at the top of the list.
Brian, now just to wrap up business, refugee entrepreneurs in the UK are getting a leg up from an American tech company.
That's right, Jeannie. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey also runs Square, a company that allows users to accept card payments via mobile phones and tablets. Square is now partnering with the Refugee Entrepreneur Network in the UK to provide card readers, no-fee transactions, and training to refugees to help get their small businesses off the ground. Twitter's often been criticized for giving a platform to hate speech and anti-immigrant sentiments. Dorsey, though, says businesses everywhere can benefit from the diversity new arrivals bring to established economies.
We need to make sure that we are welcoming folks of every background, especially folks who are suffering hardship, so that they can participate in the economy and build new community.
Maybe makes up for some of the stuff you find on Twitter these days, Gene. I don't know.
Sounds good. We'll see how it pans out in practice. Brian, thank you for that. Brian Quinn with that look at the business news.